My uncle, technically my mother's brother, Marcus, announced he'd leave his fortune to whoever proved they didn't need it. So I made sure he saw exactly how much I didn't need him. Marcus was worth millions, but lived like a man who'd survived the Great Depression on stories alone. He'd reuse tea bags, drive a 20-year-old car, and test every one of us like we were job applicants at a Fortune 500 company. Every family dinner became a performance. Cousins competing for his approval like it came with a signing bonus. I'm leaving everything to whoever proves they don't need it, he'd announced one Sunday, his voice cutting through the clatter of silverware. Then he'd lean back his chair and watch us scramble like lab rats in a maze of his own design. My cousins brought him elaborate gifts wrapped in expensive paper and desperate smiles. They offered to run his errands, drive him to doctor's appointments, pick up his prescriptions. They'd practically fight over who'd get to rake his leaves in autumn or shovel his snow in winter. Whatever he mentioned needing that week became their mission. My cousin Rebecca even switched her major to finance after Marcus made an offhand comment about fiscal responsibility. Money management shows discipline, she'd said, her voice bright with forced enthusiasm. Meanwhile, I sat empty-handed in the corner with a book, tuning out the circus unfolding around me. Emma doesn't seem to care much about family, he'd say, making sure I could hear every word. You're right, I'd reply without glancing up from my page. And I don't care about your money either. That always made him go quiet. His eyes would narrow, studying me like I was a puzzle he couldn't quite solve. While everyone else auditioned for the role of favorite nephew or niece, I was busy proving I didn't need his validation. They argued about who'd drive him to his lawyer's office. I picked up a second job at a coffee shop downtown, coming home with the smell of espresso in my hair, and saved every penny in a jar under my bed. They gushed about his will, speculating in hushed voices about percentages and trust funds. I was building my own safety net thread by thread. When people asked why I never visited more often, I'd shrug and say, he's got enough volunteers. I'd watch through the window as grown adults debase themselves for cash that hadn't even changed hands yet. I'd rather be broke with dignity intact than rich from begging on my knees. Don't you want financial security? My cousin David asked me once, genuine confusion in his voice. I'm earning mine, I said, not auditioning for it. While they spent weekends doing his chores and running his errands, I was studying online courses after my shifts, working overtime at the coffee shop, building skills that would actually pay off. While they bought him expensive birthday gifts, cashmere sweaters, vintage wines, first edition books he'd never read, I invested in myself. A certification program, new software, a professional portfolio. The dynamic became almost fascinating to observe. The more desperate they became for his attention, the more he enjoyed withholding approval. The more I ignored him, the more curious he got. He'd show up at the coffee shop sometimes, ordering black coffee, and sitting in the corner, watching me work. I'd pour his cup, take his money, and move on to the next customer. No special treatment, no performance. You're really not going to ask me about it? He said one afternoon, the shop nearly empty between the morning and lunch rush. About what? I was wiping down tables, my back to him. The will, the money, your future. I turned around, met his eyes directly. That's your money, Marcus. It has nothing to do with my future. He smiled then, not his usual thin-lipped expression of judgment, but something genuine, almost proud. When he died 6 months later, my cousins gathered at the lawyer's office like Hollywood agents at a pitch meeting. I came straight from my shift, still wearing my apron with coffee stains on the pocket. The lawyer read through various small bequests. Rebecca got his car. David got some stocks. Others got jewelry, furniture, family heirlooms. Then he paused, adjusted his glasses, and looked directly at me. To Emma, who never asked for anything, I leave everything else, because she's the only one who already knew how to stand on her own 2 feet. My cousins stared, their faces frozen between shock and rage. I thought about refusing it, but then I realized Marcus had taught me something valuable after all, not about money, but about self-respect. Sometimes the best inheritance isn't what someone leaves you. It's who you become while everyone else is waiting for handouts.